Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In the heart of Africa where tradition runs deep and spirituality intertwines with daily lives, in this episode, we have a story from our brother who as a pastor felt he needed to seek other source of power in order to be able to perform miracles and become famous. Which will eventually bring him money. What will be the cost of this decision? Before we can talk about it, and what really happened and what pushed him into this path, let us go and listen to the story and I will come back after the story. But then, don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time, like and share this video so others can listen to it as well. And also hit the notification bell, so you will be notified anytime we upload videos of this nature.
Brother, to be fair and very honest with you, I have seen life. I have actually witnessed things with my own eyes and have also been a part of this both sides of power. And I have seen the consequences of any action I took. And that is the more reason why I want to put this information out there, because I certainly do not know what will happen to me going forward. But I wanted to talk to you so that, at least people will also have an idea of what is out there beyond what the eyes can see and comprehend. The truth of the matter is that, dark powers are really working in today's churches. I know what I am talking about. I know you might be wondering why I'm saying all that, but the thing is that, even the person as to who is the reason why I joined these people is also a pastor. So you can imagine what people have been using to do or operate their churches. Just like I had also gone to seek power to operate the church so that I can pull more members. And the more the members, the more money that will be coming into your coffers. That is the deal. It is not about any pastor seeking to take his or her members to heaven. Oh yes, if you say so, I can say that there are some genuine pastors out there. But to be very much honest with you, they are not many. All the ones that you see going about proclaiming to be powerful and prophets, most of them are using dark magic powers. And the ones that are not using magic powers are using tricks on the people. So it makes the church look more evil than it is supposed to be. But like I said, there are some true men of God doing the work in good faith. I will say that I used to be among the good ones before I changed my path. I know it sounds weird to you, but that is who I am. I tell my story just as plain as it is. I don't want to hide anything from what I have done. Because if I hide it, it is still a part of me. I have done it and there is nothing that I can do now to turn back what I did in the past. The only thing now is to tell my story to serve as a caution to my fellow brothers and sisters in the Lord. Okay, so for me, I didn't have a church when I got initiated into this dark occult religion. It was planned that, after going through with it, then I will start ministry with the full power that I have gained from the cult. But I have this friend who is also a pastor that I used to go to his church Sundays whenever I go to Accra. At this time, I was living in Obuasi, and was almost like going to Accra every month or two for programs or church service at his church. Back in my place, I was always going about helping others any way possible. But you see, the problem was that sometimes the help comes with a duty, where you needed to support the person with money. And this is something that I did not have. And it got to a time that people that loves to come to me for is to share the word of good started going away from me. If you call them, they will give you one excuse to the other. I became aware of the fact that they were all going away from me because if they ask for help monetary-wise, I am not able to support them in any way. And looking back at my family, where I was coming from and the kind of hardship that is on the family, I needed to do something for myself and the entire family. I wasn't going to watch my Olafs and my father go to their grave like that without being able to do something for them. But then, I didn't know what to do. I had no idea where to start from. School or couldn't go. And it is not because I didn't want to, but like I said, I come from a family where if we talk of poverty, you can use us to describe poverty. So me going to school was not even on the table as a choice to make or not. So everything about my existence has been hand to mouth. And I was determined to change that narrative even as someone who was a Christian. I grew up to see my parents go to church day in and day out. It will not get to a day for service that you will see any of them say, as for today, I cannot go to church and worship the Lord. But for some reason, nothing was working for them, and it looked as though if care is not taken, they will die and go, and then transfer those hardships onto us. And definitely O wasn't going to have that. You see, these whole rituals and seeking of dark powers came in when I one day visited my friend in Accra. At this time, it had been almost like a year and I have not been to his place. I came and the whole church and everything about the church has changed. You see, that day, I saw my friend move in a way that I have never seen him before. What shocked me was that any amount he will call for them to bring, he will get people to do so. And this is someone that I knew, and when it came to the ministry work, he knew I was far ahead than he was. And so what happened just in a space of 1 year? These were the questions I was asking myself. Yes, I asked him about the way he was ministering. He laughed at me and said that, I remember he told me that he will one day even prophesy more than I can. He continued that he had done some directions and fasting, and it was as a result of that. I didn't understand it, but I got nothing to say. So I went to the room he always gives me when I visit him. Everything about my friend had changed and he was living comfortable now. That night, it was around about 3 a.m. when he came to the room. And he had a very deep conversation with me. At the end of it all, he told me that the next morning, he would take me to go meet someone who will be in the best position to talk to me about how things work. So, that day we went to this forest, and in this forest is this nicely built wooden house. After some few minutes, a young lady came out to welcome us. And she told us that we should relax and can take a stroll too if we so much wanted. Because the man that we came to meet will be with us later. So for that reason, I decided to walk in the fires and admire nature to wind down time. I got to this place and the atmosphere there was totally different. It was such that you feel the place is heavy. Suddenly, it was like these kinds of whispers. I am not sure if someone was to be with me if the person will hear or not. But I was hearing whispers around me. And it was as though this deep energy was drawing me deeper into the forest. Brother, I got to a place where there was this figure cloaked in shadow. He appeared to be a very old man, and he was dressed in this all-black cloth from his head to the feet. He mentioned my name right at the spot and I began to be frightening. Where was I and what was happening to me? He said I should give him my hand. I wanted to run away from where I was. But the most astonishing thing is that I couldn't even get to move my leg again. It was like I was stuck in the earth or something. He told me not to be afraid, and that I should give him my hand. Out of fear, I stretched my hand to him. As soon as he touched my hand, it was I was in this realm where I was ministering to people and the number was so huge. I was very busy giving out prophecy to them. I was again shown a place where I was healing the sick and being peace to people in bondage here and there. And I saw in another vision where my parents were happy living good. He took away his hand from mine and the visions all caught at once. He smiled at me and told me that, this is what is on your heart. And if you trust me, I can make you one of the most powerful people in the country. He said that I should go to where my friend is and think deeply about what he just told me. As soon as he said that, it was though where I was not real. I was released from the fact that I couldn't move my leg. And when I raised my head to ask him why he wants to help me, he was not around. I ran back to the building. Brother, when I got there, the man that I had met in the forest all alone was seated right with my friend and they were talking. As soon as I got there, he called me to come and have a seat. He then proceeded to ask me what is it that I saw when I went to the forest. I told him that I saw him and then he showed me all that I saw. He smiled and told me that what I saw was not him, but the Spirit always uses his face to communicate to anyone that it wants to help. And for the Spirit to have located me directly means that I was due to great things if I agreed to go ahead with whatever I am told. I was confused and I called my friend and asked him if he has told him anything. But he answered that no, he has not said anything about why I was there to the man. He said he was going through some things that he needed to do also. So I returned and asked him what were the things that I needed to go through with before I can go ahead to walk with the Spirit so as to have all that I saw back in the forest. The man told me that I should go and sleep and then think deeply about it before I make any decisions. One form was prepared for us in the house. But I couldn't sleep that night. I got up from the room and came and sat on the chair that we were sitting on earlier. After some few minutes of being there, the man came and asked why I was all alone. I told him I couldn't sleep and was wondering what really I needed to do. That was where he told me that almost all the pastors in the country, when he looks at the spiritual realms, so have certain places they seek their spiritual guidance and powers from. And even at the place where I was, he has about almost 10 to 15 pastors who have been there one way or the other to seek for solutions to their problems and have powers to perform miracles. He asked me to go and get some sleep. And he asked me to think about this thing that he told me. He said that this knowledge is an ancient knowledge and he is the guardian of the knowledge and wisdom, and that true power can only be attained from these rituals. The next morning I told him I was going to go ahead with whatever I needed to go through with in order to come out as a powerful person and to be able to put my family in a place where they will be out of poverty forever. And so, I agreed to undergo the dark rituals and initiations, without being aware of the cost that it was going to cost me. I was only looking at the end result of what I was going to do. But I didn't take time to check or seek of the cost of undergoing such rituals and becoming such a person. The man told me that the rituals will be performed at 1 a.m. when the moon is up high in the sky. So I shouldn't eat the whole day, so that I would prepare myself for the things I was going to do. The time came and I was standing in front of the man wearing only my shorts, as my friend is standing somewhere looking at what I was doing. And there were about 4 servants of the man who were also there helping the process. I was surrendered by spiritual symbols of power and darkness. The man told me this profound order. He said, to attain the power, you must surrender your soul and embrace the shadows. So I was made to sit on the floor with all the symbols surrounding me as I closed my eyes. As I closed my eyes and was sitting down, the man started telling me the same thing he was telling me earlier. He said that this knowledge is an ancient knowledge and he is the guardian of the knowledge and wisdom, and that true power can only be attained from these rituals. The atmosphere was thick with incense and candle lights that created an intoxicating haze that heightened my very self. The other 4 servants started chanting and incantations in a language that I did not understand. There was this young sheep that was also in the presence all this while that everything was going on. After all the necessary incantations and citations were said and made, I was ordered to make a sacrifice using the sheep. This, he said, it symbolizes the fact that I was leaving my old self and wearing a new life and donning a new power and spirit. So as the sacrifice of the sheep was made, the blood was used to sprinkle on my body as the man was singing and chanting some powerful incantations. As he continued to do that, my brother, I started feeling this heat sensation all over my body, and I started feeling as though I was being possessed by a different kind of spirit. I started also chanting and singing the same song and incantations that at first I had never heard before. I was asked to go back to the room and rest because the next morning, I will undergo my last set of rituals. My friend also went into the circle and also did his own set of rituals that he needed to do. But because I was asked to go to the room, I didn't see the exact thing that he had gone to do. It was him that told me that he had gone to renew his vows.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Indeed, I honestly do not know how to react to what our brother has told us. I always sometimes find things strange as to how far a person is willing to go just because of power. But then, because of what I do, I understand some of these things as being influenced by the power of desperation. When you are much desperate to succeed or to show people that you have also arrived. That is exactly what fuels some of these decisions. I have a lot of things to say, but I will wait, and when we conclude on the part 2, then I will say whatever it is that I want to say. But as usual, you am being in your contribution in the comment section. I feel he really didn't prove anything as willing to fight for the work of the Most High, but like I said, I will wait till we all listen to the next part. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. Just like we always do in this house, please let us also hear from you, our beautiful family members. Let's listen to your views and concerns and comments in the comment section. Yes, just as we are here to share with ourselves what is going on out there, we do bring these conversations with you, our family members, to help their innocent brothers and sisters to realize what is happening out there, that they do not have any idea about, so that they can make their own decisions going forward in their day-to-day activities. I just hope that we honestly take the important lessons from these stories to better our lives and decisions. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.